Hi, my name is Kelly Amos and I'm a health coach. And today for your tiny health tip, I want to talk to you about tracking and primarily or specifically tracking calories in and calories out, or the energy that you put into your body and the energy that you use each day. Whether you are trying to maintain your weight or lose weight or gain weight, there are some pros and cons as far as specifically tracking the calorie content. And I've talked about this before hey Tim, I've talked about this before as far as the challenges with calorie counting, but I'm going to give you a little bit more information today. So first of all, if you're tracking your calories in, that's really not a very productive way as far as weight loss. And even weight maintenance. If your goal is to maintain your weight and you're struggling with it, if you want weight loss, then tracking your calories, counting the number of calories is not really very accurate. First of all, the calorie count of foods is imprecise. The system that is used is well over 100 years old, and through technology and just lots of other things. Hi, Sean. It's just imprecise. So the number that you see on there, as far as the nutritional value or the caloric value, is inaccurate, and it can be off by quite a bit. Also, we don't absorb all the calories that you consume, so you don't know what that number is. Your gut health has a lot to do with that, and just each individual is a little bit different. So, and also how the food is prepared, how you're preparing your food, that changes the caloric value of it. So depending on how it's prepared and what else is coming along with it is going to affect the caloric value. And also, individuals absorb their nutrients uniquely, and there are a lot of variables there. So that's another reason that number that's on the package is not very accurate. Now, when you are tracking using a device, then that throws you off as well. And I just recently got an Apple Watch, which I'm very excited about, and I'll talk a little bit more about using the device and how that is helpful. But Stanford did a study, and it included an Apple Watch and a Mio and a Fitbit, Samsung. I mean, it included all the heavy hitters. And they were off. The most accurate one as far as caloric expenditure was off by about 27%, and all the way up to the worst of them all was off by 93%. So when you're tracking your calories using a device and how many calories you burned, that's just not going to work for you. So today in my P90X Live class, there's Chris Brazil takes my class, and she's had an Apple Watch for a while, and so this is my second class teaching with it, and so we're comparing numbers afterwards and things to see where we hit. And surprisingly, our numbers were very consistent. And as far as these measuring your heart rate, they are accurate within 5%. Through that study, heart rate was accurate within 5%. It was the caloric expenditure that was inaccurate. Again, the best one was off by 27%. And so that's quite a bit, and getting up to 93%. So as far as looking at numbers on a package as far as the calories, or numbers on your device as far as the calories, and the less information you put into the device, the more inaccurate it's going to be. So if you can put in your age and your gender and your height and your weight and your max heart rate, that's going to give you a greater better chances of it being closer to accurate. So when you're on those cardio equipment, those cardio machines, don't even go there. Don't believe it. So tracking, the best thing to do as far as tracking your food is really more tracking portions. And that's something that we are all really bad at gauging, or what our portions are. because we don't measure. We just kind of eyeball and, oh, I eat about this and I eat about this much. And you guys, I do this for a living, talking to people. And if I have them describe, a normal day or a couple days of what their normal eating is, and then we start logging it, it's different. It really is different, and it's very eye-opening. So one of the challenges is, and actually I was just talking with a client today, and he and his wife are really going to start tracking now, and she was really not very enthusiastic about doing it. Hey, Janie. She wasn't very enthusiastic about doing it because it's just tedious. And I mean, I know one person that likes tracking her food, that really is, that's been doing it for years and tracks everything. And that, I mean, one person. Other than that, it's not, it is tedious. It's a pain in the butt. But his comment was, no, you got to change your mindset. You have to look at it as that tracking sheet is the gatekeeper. So we're going to not want to eat something because we're going to think about it. We're going to think about it again before we eat it, because we're going to have to write it down, and then we're going to have to see it. So what the tracking of your nutrition as far as weight loss is really the best thing to do, to track your portions. And that's where research across the board has shown that portion and balanced nutrients, whole foods, is the best way as far as weight loss. Because even with your caloric, with your device, and burning, you think you're burning this many calories, the fitter you are and the more efficient you are at that activity, the fewer calories you burn. That's why I keep preaching. You got to change. You got to mix things up. You got to shock your body. Doing the same workouts, you are more efficient. You are not burning as many calories as when you first started. So tracking, and it also, it gives you an awareness. So if you're going to grab it, or it gives you an awareness of, I don't really need this, or maybe this isn't the best thing because I'm going to have to write it down, or maybe I could choose something different. And this is like my 5th piece of fruit today. And so it really also will give you a clear picture of the portions that you're consuming. So in my group, my nutrition course, I created my own spreadsheet. So this is the spreadsheet that I use, and this goes along with the containers. So I know for my caloric intake, as far as being balanced, it's a range, and what I should be consuming based on my goals. I need to be consuming this many portions that are measured out, that many portions of all these different foods. So by tracking, I can see where my holes are. So I'm not going to just go grab some crackers because I'm hungry. I'm going to see that I've already had a starch today, and I know I'm going to have more tonight because we're having fish tacos. I haven't had any fruit. I need to have a piece of fruit. So it just gives you that awareness of what your body needs to have in, rather than just shoving stuff in and calling it a number. I had to go back because my mother, I keep getting my favorites calling while I'm doing a tiny health tip. What I also like about it is I'm all about collecting data. I want to know more. And so this gives me data. So this helps me see today, for example, I had an awesome workout. I mean, my workout at home, and then I went and taught my class, and I just had tons of energy. I felt great. And not that I'm dragging a lot, but I just had this extra oomph. And so what I like is now I can look at, what did I do yesterday? What did I eat yesterday? Why am I feeling so good today? How is your digestion? How are you feeling in the morning? How quickly do things get moving through you? How did you sleep? What you did the day before is an indicator of that's a prediction of your future. So that's where you can kind of track and see, I really had a good day there. Or as I go through, as I fill this out through the week, if I do see holes and areas that I was not balanced, then I can look back and go, okay, what happened that day? Why was I off that day? What is it? So how can I strategize and know in advance that those seem to be the harder days for me to consume a better balance? Maybe I need to meal prep. Maybe I need to do some other things so that you don't run into that again. It also, so not only knowing how you feel, but it also can help you kind of track things as far as your digestion, your hormones, and just your overall wellness. You can see how you've been eating and how you feel, and if your hormones are kind of getting off, then you can track that as well. And I'm talking more to women than men here. And so it's just when you have more data, when you have more information and you're more in tune with the things that you're doing, it's much easier to adjust. So if things are kind of getting off and they just aren't working for you, you can pick a few things that you can, it's important that you don't try to just overhaul your whole life. You got to pick one or two things and tweak that a little bit and then see how that works, run it for a while, and then but if you're changing a bunch of things, it's really hard to know what is working and what isn't working. So tracking really is a good thing, and it also is really motivating. With this watch, I input my goals and as far as my activity each day and how much, and it tells me like, you need to stand up, you've been sitting too long. And today it also gave me a little thing that says, hey, it was like 12:30 and it said, hey, you've almost met your movement goal. A brisk 20-minute walk should do it. And so it's saying, hey, that's all you have to do to hit your goal. You just have to get up and go walk. So it's really is a motivating thing as far as reminding you to move and reminding you to do things. So these devices absolutely have their place in wellness, but you just need to make sure that you're tracking things and following for the right reasons, and appreciate that some of the things are just not going to provide accuracy, but it can offer consistency over time by tracking. So that's all I have to say. You can still get into my course. I'm going to post the link if you would like to register for it. It's a course, so there are some study materials, some learning stuff that you're going to need. This is prep week, so we will officially start next Monday. So again, you've got plenty of time, and as soon as you register, basically you can get started right then as far as looking over things. And I'd love to have you, and you get more and more of stuff like this, and it's more of a personal, individual coaching, as well as the support of a group. So if you are interested or have any questions, please message me, and I can give you more details and tell you, how it would work for you. Okay. I hope you're having a great night, and thank you so much for watching. And if you think that this would be helpful for someone, please share it, because Facebook likes people to share, and they also like conversation. So ask questions. I will respond, I promise. Thanks again, and I will see you later.